My Liverpool wrap up. Sorry, I've just seen my mate Johnny's comment. Yes, I'll explain that in a minute. I do apologise. Yeah, so this is the live reaction to Burnley against Liverpool yesterday. Just to say very, very quickly, as per usual, this will be on YouTube podcasts under a Liverpool story, which is my Liverpool podcast, which I now record off this basically because I'm a very lazy man. I don't like doing two different sets of things where I can just do one. And it'll also be on YouTube videos whenever YouTube can process it. So probably tomorrow, maybe late like tonight, something along them lines. Yeah, so let me just adjust this quickly. There we go. Right, to my friend Johnny's point, yes, so yesterday, any subscribers will have seen that basically I said that it was very unlikely that I was going to be filming. Sorry, let me just move this. There we go. We're not in the light anymore. Brilliant. Right, yeah. So I said it was very unlikely that I'd be doing a live stream, which I was going to do a live reaction yesterday. My brother invited me out. Hi, bro. To see the match at the public house, and after celebrating the victory, shall we say, I took an editorial decision not to inflict my live stream on you, given my condition at that point, shall we say. And yeah, today I'd also like to thank the wife, because when I was about to go on live, I had everything prepared. This was literally a couple of hours ago, getting ready to speak to you guys. I had all my notes ready, and then all of a sudden my son comes walking in from school. That's not an issue with that. That's absolutely fine, except he was meant to be going swimming, and the wife is working, and she forgot that two things were happening at the same time. And long story short, it's been a massive family balls up, basically. So yes, hence why everything's late. But now wife and son have been dismissed, and I can talk to you guys. So yes, there we go. I will get the hang of these live streams one day, folks. I do promise. It's just difficult when you have, as many of you out there will know, who are ADHD, please, at times given, yes, wonderful consequence said condition for family and friends. But yes, there we go. Yeah, so anyway, after all that, so yeah, Liverpool against Burnley. I've written a boatload of notes, so I'm going to go through everything. But the first thing I was going to say was, I'm just going to put it out there. I don't think Liverpool, because they've received a lot of criticism, I don't think it was a performance for the ages by any stretch of the imagination. But I'm one of the few people to turn around and say, I don't actually think Liverpool were that bad, to be quite honest, at all. Now, I want to preface this by saying this is not me having a go at Burnley or anything along those lines. Burnley Football Club, if they wish to put literally 11 men behind the ball, are perfectly within their rights to do so, because I've heard loads of people going on complaining at Burnley and this, that, and the other, and putting like bus emojis in front of goals and so on and so forth. The only thing I would say about that is, like, our squad is probably worth, I would imagine, 10 times the amount that Burnley are. Burnley's job is to stay in the Premier League, and they can go about that in any way that they wish. And as far as I'm concerned, it is for Liverpool to break Burnley down. It is not, Burnley are not beholden to have to, oh, we need to play exciting football, we're going to charge at Liverpool for 90 minutes, because with the greatest respect for Burnley, if they did that, they would be, we would probably destroy them, basically, at the end of the day. So, I get people are complaining, like my old fellow who was still here, he loved attacking football, obviously, like his favourite team when he was a lad was the Brazilian 1970s team. He used to watch the Tottenham team with Ozzy Ardiles and all that. He loved the Liverpool team of the 80s and 90s, because we all played really good attacking, but it's just not possible for some people. So I just think, to be honest, in terms of the game, Burnley had a plan that they had to stick to. If they came out and went at us, I mean, that could have been 3 or 4-0. It's as simple as that, and that does them no good of any kind whatsoever. I thought defensively, just to do a shout out to Burnley, I thought it was the best defensive display that I've seen in the Premier League this year. I thought their back four, the goalkeeper, the central midfielders were absolutely outstanding. They did a very, very good job. But look, it's not me being telling people what other people to think. If you're not comfortable with that style of football, that's perfectly fine, not a problem at all. But as far as I'm concerned, it's for Liverpool to break them down, and we just didn't do it that well yesterday. It's simple as that. In terms of defensively, I thought we were rock solid. Not that we had a great deal to do. I mean, Ali, I don't even think made a save to the best of my. I think he might have had one save possibly. Thought back four was really good. That's two clean sheets on the bounce as well, which needs to be remembered because we had a load of people complaining that we weren't solid enough defensively, and now we've gone just that little bit too far the other way. I wouldn't say we're being defensive at all, but we're now keeping clean sheets again. But the attacking thing has maybe kind of dropped off because we've only got two wins the last two games because of two goals in the 84th minute and then, well, obviously the 95th minute. So, yeah, I didn't think the midfield was bad at all. Creatively, the midfield was not great. I thought Ryan Gravenberch was superb. Attacking wise, I'll get onto this in a minute. I don't think they were bad. My complaint about Liverpool yesterday was the shot selection. I thought Ekatike was excellent for the 60 minutes. Personally, I was shouting for Salah to come off, which again shows what I know because he scored the winning goal. Gakpo, I thought was good, but he was one of the main. His choice of pass and shot selection was not brilliant, I have to say. And as for Mo, it's a good job he scored the winning goal because borderline, that was one of the worst performances that I think I've ever seen from Mo Salah. It was appalling beyond words. But Mo Salah is there to win us games, and he won the game. He's done his job. Does that excuse his general performance or not? I wouldn't say horrendous, but not great performances at the start of the season. No, but at the end of the day, Mo Salah is there to win us games, and he won us the game yesterday. If you saw my short yesterday, I was literally like, honestly, like sweating cobs when I came out because when I realised Salah was taking the penalty, I just thought, given the 2-3 that he's missed or how many it is, I just thought it was going to be maybe Sobersley was going to take the penalty, or I mean that's the other trouble as well. I mean, who really at that point could have taken the penalty that was still left on the field? I mean, obviously you've got. I mean, you can't be having Rio take it for obvious reasons. He's 17 years of age. I mean, I suppose you could have had Verge possibly, but then I suddenly did the head count of all the people, and I'm like, yeah, Mo Salah's the only one that can take this in. So I'm literally sat there at the pub like this, head bowed, and I don't think I even cheered. I just let out a sigh of relief, and then it started again, and the game started again, and then the referee blew the whistle, and I literally just said to my brother, "I'm going outside for a couple of minutes of fresh air," basically. So I took a pint out with me, literally sat in the smoking area of the boozer or whatever, and literally just took a sip of the pint and went, "Thank God Almighty for that." But yeah, yeah, like I said, overall, I don't think Liverpool were that. I don't think they played badly. It's just like, put it this way: if Liverpool had played like that, and we were sat here this morning and it had been 5-0 to Liverpool, would you say that that was a good performance? If you add 5 goals onto it, I think most of us are absolutely bouncing this morning saying that was brilliant and we totally outplayed them. But the fact is, I mean, it said that we had 27 shots on goal. I mean, I can remember a couple of good saves from Dubravka. There was one from Gravenberch, Bradley, was the one from Akpo, I think, maybe Ekatike. I mean, we were dangerous, but I don't think Dubravka had enough to do for me. I mean, it's all well and good saying 27 shots. I mean, this is what I don't like about this XG stuff. You can say 27 shots as much as you want till the cows come home. I mean, how many people? How many people? How many of those shots were saved and by Dubravka, and secondly, how many of those did he struggle with? And I would probably say at a push 3. So I'd say the performance was okay. Attacking final third wise, as in final shot selection and pass, it was not great, to be honest. Let me move this yet again. I've got one of those houses where every place I try and sit is like an issue with the sunlight. So yeah, repairs. Right. One thing. There we go. There you go. You guys can see Star Wars instead. Right. Yeah. Let me just get that ready. Move that over here. Yeah. Right. There we go. Hi. I was going to give you a Liverpool background, but because of the nature of my room, you can see Star Wars and a little bit of Diogo instead. There we go. So the other things to talk about, like I said, I don't think we were lucky to win, but given the circumstances, it's lucky we won in the way that we did. The only reason that we won is because Hannibal, and I do feel sorry for what I would say is 20, 30 years ago, the referee maybe comes up to him and says, mate, you are very lucky that I'm not giving a penalty. I mean, again, I'm an old man, penalty is given. But obviously, by the rule of law that we've got now, it is a blatant handball based on the law now. But yeah, if Frimpong doesn't play that ball, basically it's a 0-0 draw. And we don't think it would have been disaster, but given the start that we've had to beat Newcastle, Arsenal, and then draw Burnley away from home is not particularly given the fixture list that we've got coming up. But yeah, like I said, I not really complaints to the lads. I thought they played really well. Not really well, but for me, it was just the shot selection at the end and talking. If you 3 goals on, if it's a 3-4-0 win, say Liverpool play really well. But there we go. Let me just have a look at the comments. Yeah, sorry, Johnny. Again, I do. Yes, blame my wife. Are you near or far-sighted? Thank you, Sion. I am. What am I again? Short-sighted. That's the one. This is my glasses. So when I'm looking at you, I can't see anything at all. I can see to about here. So yeah, I am short. That's the one. Big up Geek Boy. Chat RIP Ricky Hatton. Mental health needs to be about regularity. Agree AR, yeah. So if you guys follow me, particularly on, if anyone wants to follow me at all, it's I'm on, so it's Geek Boy Meta. I'm on Blue Sky as well. And I tend not to go on the other one that much, shall we say, but I am. Yeah, no, that thing, mate. I actually put a tribute out just late, just because at the end of the day, tribalism and we don't like Man City and this, that, and the other. But obviously, you could tell that's affected a lot of people in Manchester. And Ricky Hatton himself and his family. I mean, by all accounts, obviously we don't know, but it looks very likely that he's taken his life. Mental health is super, super important. I know that I've been through quite a bit this year myself, through some stuff, and it talked about absolutely. Ricky Hatton podcast, but he always seemed to be like a really genuine. I actually remember. Obviously, you guys know that I also cover wrestling. I remember when Ricky Hatton came on WWE Raw. I want to say it was possibly. It was around the time when they had that stupid host thing, and hosts were absolutely just. I mean, most of them were diabolical, absolutely wretched. They actually had Ricky Hatton on Raw, so he would have been, I don't know, late 20s, early 30s, I think. And he actually did a square up with Jericho. And I tell you what, he wasn't the most in the ring. I mean, he was a very clever man, but in terms of WWE, wasn't the. But he was really good against Jericho. I really, really enjoyed randomly, that's my main memory of Ricky Hatton. Obviously, I saw some of his fights and everything. Obviously, he was a great fighter. And yeah, it's like I said on behalf of the channel, Bugger all the best, Ricky. All the best, um, his wife, his children, his family circumstance, best to his, uh, and all of the Manchester, all like give each other up. This you the piss out of as far as and to Manchester City and their fans as well. I am genuinely sorry for your loss. Yeah, talk about mental health, kids. Because you never know. I don't want to get too preachy, but just check in with your mates occasionally because people might need to check in with your family. And if you feel like rubbish, talk about it. That is the main thing I would say. So, yeah, rest in peace. Yeah, AR again. Yeah. Great game does need to improve. Absolutely. Yeah. Um, yeah, like I said, but especially with the final shot selection, like I said, that they appear to have. Chris Wilder returns to Sheffield United for third spell as manager. You're just reading the well, why on earth did you get rid of him following the first place? Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't really have the words. Anyway, Salah, Gakpo, okay, Verts, game need to improve. Yes, no, I agree. I am going to talk about Verts in a minute, AR. I've got some Crawford masterclass against Canelo, Atletico Madrid. Yes, definitely. Well, I mean, Madrid. I would say out of all of them, Hampton, you could maybe get away. The rest of those fixtures, if we play like that, we will be as Everton. If we do that, and I if I'm actually the Ever will be. So there does need to. I completely agree. Pudsey Bustan season plus. Hi, how you doing? You're all right. Yeah. So the other things I wanted to talk about was yeah. So obviously we've got 2 clean sheets, and that is a good thing. Defensively, we've been pretty rock solid the last 2 games. It looks like they've ironed things out, which is good. One thing I was going to say, can I just do a shout out to Connor Bradley? I think most people's man is Ryan Gravenberg. I do put it, yeah. From the last time, yeah. Was it the last Liverpool live stream that we were chatting on? What was the last Liverpool? The international break. If I got that right, I do remember your names. You can't really forget a name like that, can you? But yes, no, I do remember that. It's just my brain's a bit weird, so like you might have been in another chat with me that I've got completely wrong. So yeah, but yes, I do remember that. I kind of it was sensational. So I was just going to say, I think most people were splitting up. Yes, I think most people were giving the man of the match to Ryan Gravenberg. Is that right? I'm not too sure because basically I pretty much left the pub, went upstairs to there's like outdoor drinking. And I'm literally sat in the rain, not caring. I'm just like I need to just go on after that because that was very stressful. But I didn't see who the man of the match was, so I'm assuming it was Gravenberg. I don't know if anyone knows from Sky or whatever. Anyway, most people seem to say Grav. I want to be the one to disagree because I thought Gravenberg was yesterday. I would actually have given it to Connor Bradley. Now I don't know what anyone else thinks. I thought, considering he only played 1 minute, I thought he was absolutely sensational. His defending was like top class. I mean, obviously you had the thing with fine. Yeah. See you later, Pudsey. Yeah. I thought his was superb. I loved the he was making down the. He was getting into the area. He had a couple of shots. The crossing on could have been a little bit better, but the day all of Liverpool's crossing selection yesterday was quite poor, so I wouldn't pin that all on Connor. I mean, obviously he had the header. What about took a couple of minutes after he came on? Yeah, I just thought it was probably one of our best substitutes this season. I thought he was really super. So I think somewhere down the lines, Liverpool, it's a good problem to have, but they have got a problem with Bradley, not at the moment, but maybe in the next year to 18 months. he is far too good to be left out of the team. And if he can overcome his fitness, I mean, obviously at the moment, Arna can kind of say to Bradley, "Look, fitness back up, consider putting you in the first team." And I think Connor will understand that. He's still only 22. You have got Frimpong, he needs to got to rotate. If Bradley continues like this, Arna's got a bit of a problem in respect that he will have to find a place in the team for him. But then you've got Jeremy Frimpong, Dutch international Bundesliga winner, 35 odd million pound fullback. That's like, well, what am I doing basically? But I suppose the good thing about Frimpong is he can play in midfield and he can play. So I don't know if they'll do something with Frimpong during the African Nations, maybe with Mo Salah. Maybe he rotates with a couple of the other lads. Maybe Hugo can play that side. I don't know. So don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic problem to have, and I'm pleased we've got these options. Sorry, I'm going off a tangent here, but I don't know if you guys have done the game where your own time you write down squad and what your team is basically. It's got to the point where I could physically not far off write down 3 Liverpool teams at the squad that we've got, as in like worst to best, blah blah blah. You our worst team, if we were to put out, say, like that, say if we had Freddie Woodman in goal, for example, and that we had Leone at centre half, and I don't know, Endo and Curtis Jones in midfield, that sort of thing. You're talking our worst team and a couple of I don't know, youth players. I reckon our reserve team could come just above the bottom 6, and that's with like 5, 6 under 21s. In fact, you're probably talking we'd be borderline top half the table. I mean, that is how good Liverpool's squad is now. So yeah, the Bradley thing is fine for the minute, but at some point he is going to be asking questions like, "What are we?" I mean, I was actually thinking, I don't know if you could even put Frimpong and Bradley in the same team. Maybe if you, let's say for argument's sake, let's say Moses did at that point, a couple of years time, maybe Frimpong, and then you put Bradinho in uh, right-sided fullback. Maybe you can get all of them in, but then you've still got to fit Sobbo and work. Look, it's a brilliant problem to have. Absolutely brilliant. But yeah, like I said, general point, I thought Conor Bradley was sensational. He's personally my man of the match, but there you go. I take your guys' points. Ali 7, yep, definitely. Man of the match, Virgil. Yeah, actually, yeah, no, he played really well. I like the way that he brought the ball. Like, well, I mean, bloody hell, I mean, Christ, he could have gone to the bloody, he could have gone to the pulled back there, to be honest. But yeah, Sobo 7.5, yeah, Kanati 6, yeah, Gravenberg 8, Maka 5. Yeah, I thought Maka was playing all right until the kick that he got, to be honest. I didn't think it was a brilliant performance when we got the kick, but obviously then it was just, I mean, I knew he was going to come off at half time, but there we go. Salah 5, yes, I was giving Mo Salah a 2 before he scored that penalty. Ekatike for, I actually thought Ekatike wasn't that bad, mate, to be honest. I just thought, again, like Gakpo, his shot selection and final ball was atrocious. I thought his general play was reasonably good, to be honest, but yeah, fair play. Chiesa 5, do you know what? I'd probably give him a 6. I thought he caused Burnley, not that he scored or assisted or anything, but if you actually look at his general play, I thought their defence went a little bit ragged with some of the movements he was making. That was another thing I was going to say as well. If Chiesa can come on and just be a nuisance and hold the ball up and bring people into play, he could be a hell of a. So I don't know what Arna said to him, but if Federico Chiesa is coming on for my football team with 25 minutes to spare in the Premier League and he's a starter in the League Cup, that is absolutely fine with me and he can stay as long as he wants. So I actually thought he was okay, but obviously he got, what was it, about 18 minutes, so he's just not great till he could, doesn't he? Rio 6, I thought Robbo was good actually. Bradinho 6 and from 6. Yeah, no, fair play, mate. Fair play. I just thought that Bradley was really, really good, but each their own. Each their own. We need to put Sobo in midfield. Yep. Fremont, Brad. Yep. Players going on hard on Maka. Yes, definitely. We need to get more ball into the box and take shots. Agreed, absolutely. We need to break the low block. Yeah, well, I mean, they always do. This is what people have done. The people who are doing this with Liverpool when I was a kid. I mean, this. I mean, you're talking. This is like 1991, and I can remember this happening. Very few teams ever come out against us, and Liverpool need to. Well, I mean, I'm sure they are used to it. They all know how people set up against them. But basically, you're talking how many people in the Premier League are actually at Liverpool. City, I would say Arsenal, but given that whatever the hell that was the other week, maybe just at the Emirates. I think Chelsea always come at us. Villa randomly at Villa Park always seem to have a decent go. Spurs, Newcastle, maybe it's James's, but I mean, I'm probably missing someone here. But yeah, generally, other than that, I mean, you're talking everyone sets defensively, so the lads have got to learn to play out. I was just going to say there's a couple of players I was going to talk about. First player I want to talk about is Florian Wirtz. I don't think it was. I don't think it was the finest midfield display I've ever seen. However, this criticism that he's getting, I'm not saying it's unwarranted because at the end of the day, he's £125 million worth of football and he should have set up or assisted a goal by now. Now, I completely take on board. But everyone struggled with the way Burnley played yesterday. I mean, literally, if you watch the match, Florian had one or two people on him. I mean, there was literally no space for him to do anything. To be honest, I would have. I was getting to the point where I was hoping Arna was just going to say to Florian, "Right, I tell you what, you just play in front of the back four and just play quarterback because you're not going to get through. Try and spray some balls about, see if you can find some people." Because I thought Florian tried his. I was impressed with him, and he held his own physically. Whenever the ball, he went chase, he harried ears, and there were a lot of people that thought Florian was going to be a bit of. I tell you what, he does work his backside off. Yeah. So was it an outstanding performance by Wirtz? No, absolutely not. Do I think he warrants the? Do I think he warrants the criticism? Yes, because he should have scored or assisted by now. It's as simple as that. That's what it's there for. But absolutely wretched in every four games. No, personally, I don't. But again, each their own. One player who I did want to criticise, not for his efforts, Milos Kerkez. I'm not going to go in on too hard on him. He's a young lad. Look, he's 21 years of age. Look, I'm double, literally, and a few more years. Milos Kerkez's age, basically. He will learn. He's a young man. He gets a bit over enthusiastic. I like his commitment. And I like his effort. And I like the fact that he gives. He wants to win the ball. He wants Liverpool to get up, and he wants to make a challenge. And there's nothing wrong with that. However, the day yesterday. If you disagree with me, I don't mind people anything to do with Liverpool. That's fine. If you want to disagree with me, that Milos Kerkez did not dive. Please go away. No, not really. Yeah, but I'm sorry, folks. It was one of the, without doubt, most pathetic dives I have ever seen in my entire life. And look, I will get behind the boys and I'll defend them to the hilt, just like I did with Wirtz a minute ago. And I'll criticise lads when they need criticising. I don't want to see people diving. Simple as that. That there is literally no need. What annoyed me more than anything, if you look at the way that Milos got the ball, I think there was a chance that he could have taken that under control, taken a touch, put his back towards the defender, and then just passed it out to, I don't know who it would have been at that point, maybe Gakpo or someone like that, and just say, fair enough, I can't do it for it. Just turn around, pass it to Gakpo or someone like that, and let him cross it into the area or take a shot or whatever. There was literally no need for him to. I mean, my issue with the dive was I don't like cheating in football, but I'm an old, grumpy old man at the end of the day, and I'm aware it's part of. I think it's outrageous, but that's just my opinion. But if you are going to dive, make it convincing because that was. I mean, it wasn't even close to connecting. I mean, it just looked literally like it looked like one of those falls that you would get in a Warner Brothers cartoon or something like that. It was honest. I don't know what on earth he thought he was doing. And then where he was very, very lucky was there were a couple of fouls that Milos got. Now, do I think he deserved to be sent off? No. Obviously, the Burnley, just to mention the Burnley lad, got sent off as well. I mean, he made 3 or 4 stupid fouls, so he deserved to go. And if you foul someone on the edge of the area and you're on a yellow card and drag them back, you get sent off. I take the point that Milos could have been sent off. I wouldn't have personally have sent him off for either of the 2 subsequent fouls. One thing I would say is the foul that the referee chose not to give a yellow card when he was all over the back is very subjective. Now, I don't think that is a yellow card personally. There are a lot of people who disagree with me, and one of them could have been the ref. The point is, if Milos had got sent off on what minute, what would it have been, 32, 33? We were struggling to break down Burnley already. We've then got 60 odd minutes, including extra time, where we're trying to break down Burnley, who have got an extra man. It was stupid by Kirkers, and like I said, I'm not going to defend him. I'll defend him in general. Like I said, he's a young man, and when you're a young man or a young lady, you make mistakes as you grow older. That's the way that you learn. That's my opinion on life, anyway. But it was completely stupid, and I thought Arne handled it brilliantly. Because if you remember, he's on the touchline, he brings him off, and Arne has not lip reading, but I mean, you could tell it was something along the lines of, look, I've not brought you off because of your performance. I've brought you off because you're going to get sent off. And it's as simple as that, and they will target you. Hopefully he learns from it, but I'm not sure way of the games that we've got coming up. I would probably have Robbo for at least 3 of them. Point, actually. Yeah, no, I would probably have Robbo back in for at least 3 of them. If Kirkos has a problem, Diego Simone's Atletico Madrid are not necessarily who I would want him playing next. The Merseyside derby, if he's got a temperament problem, absolutely not. The Southampton League Cup game, you can get away with that one. Crystal Palace, not the dirtiest team in the world, but that's probably okay. Galatasaray from home, if he's got an attitude problem, absolutely not. And then Chelsea 50-50. So I think for the next 2 games, personally, I don't know what you're doing. I would have Andy Robber against Atletico Madrid, and I'd have him play against Everton, and then I'd bring Kirkos back in for the Southampton and Palace games. But that's just my opinion. RH, hi RH, you're alright. I have to say Liverpool do look a lot more stoppable than last season. Yeah, I think, to be honest, I can't sit here and say that. Do I think we deserve to win all 4 games? I think Bournemouth just. I think yesterday, de facto, we deserved to win, but we didn't do enough to win it, if you see what I mean. But I think, given the course of the play, that we just did enough. Newcastle, I don't think Liverpool deserved to be honest. I've seen the game since. I don't think they even deserved a draw, to be quite honest. I mean, I thought there was spells in that match where Liverpool played okay, but I mean, the second half performance was absolutely diabolical. Arsenal, 50-50. I think probably a draw in that match. So what should Liverpool have got? I don't think we necessarily should have lost any of the games. The closest I'd say is Newcastle, so maybe we should be sat with 7 or 8 points. But the good thing about that is we've taken 12 out of 12 and we haven't even got out of what we're thinking third or fourth gear. It's a pretty decent situation to have. What was the next thing I wanted to talk about? Yes, Alexander Isak. First things first, sorry that I'm doing this on the live stream. I do apologise, guys, but as usual, swig of water for the working man. Yes, so Alexander Isak. I know there are quite a few people who were not best pleased when he wasn't on the bench. Can I be honest? I actually agree with Arne. If you factor in, yes, Alexander Isak is one of the best strikers in the world. Fine. Does he need that much training to come in and be successful at Liverpool? I would probably suggest no. However, if you talk about emotionally, he's literally just left somewhere that he's been for 3 or 4 years with a load of mates under a cloud, and those relationships are damaged and destroyed forever. Mental health wise, what we were just talking about, is that the best for him? Probably not. The man probably, I would assume, has is settling into a new property with his family or whatever. I mean, those are just practical considerations. Match wise, he's not even had a pre-season. I know he played with Real Sociedad, or trained with them at least, but that isn't match practice because obviously Real Sociedad will have programs individually for their players. Yes, they might have had programs for Alexander Isak that he's got them to do, but not in the way that Newcastle or Liverpool would want to play. So he's behind on that. So if you think about it, most teams' pre-season is what, about 6 weeks. I think, if I'm right in saying, he's might have come back for some of the pre-season, but not all of it. Maybe 10 days, 2 weeks. So all the other players have had, let's say, a month's worth of football, 2 weeks worth of international football, and they've had 6 weeks of pre-season. So most of those players have had about, I don't know, 10 to 12 weeks of actual professional football and proper training building up to the season. Alexander Isak has had what, maybe 10 days at best, a random training camp at Real Sociedad, which doesn't do anyone any good, and he's played twice for Sweden, I believe once off the bench. He isn't match fit. Is he actually fit? Yep, no, definitely. Um, but he's not match fit, and Arna would not. He's not one of those sorts of people. Arna is meticulous. He's not just going to say, "Oh yeah, I've got the best in the world, lob him in." But the fact of the matter is, Arne Slot, this is without Isaac, has Hugo Ekitike, Cody Gakpo, Mohamed Salah, Federico Chiesa, Rio Ingamoa, Jaden Dan's, let it not be forget, who is actually fit now, and Florian Wirtz, who could play as part of the front three, and also randomly Jeremy Frimpong can play as part of the front three, as he did with Leverkusen quite a bit. That is 8 striking options. So for me, do we need to rush Alexander Isak in? I would say no. Personally, for me, and again, if you guys disagree, not a problem. I would, I'd get him ready for the Merseyside derby. That would be the first one that I would do. Atletico Madrid isn't a vital match to me. Obviously, I know that sounds really stupid, but if you remember last year, we were like, "Oh, we need to all qualify as quickly as possible because we don't want to get a bad draw in the Champions League. Hooray! We're first place. Woohoo! We're going to get FC Braga or something like that." And who did we get? Paris Saint-Germain, who won the European Cup. I'm not suggesting that Liverpool go out and deliberately lose matches and toss it off and say, "Oh, we can't be bothered. We'll just win the last 4 games and we'll qualify." I'm not suggesting that at all. Atletico Madrid, to me, is one of those, if you lose or draw, I mean, obviously you don't want to lose by any stretch of the imagination, but if you lose to Atletico Madrid, it's not something that people are going to be taking the mick out of you for. I mean, Atletico Madrid, despite everything, have still got one of the best squads probably in European football. They're just having a bit of a bad time. Is a draw a disaster? No, absolutely not. Someone said it was going to be a 2-2 draw against Atletico Madrid. I would say, fine, fair enough. We just need, 4 more wins out of 8 games. That'll do. I'm sure Arna won't think like that. But the point is, do we need to rush Alexander Isak back for that match? Probably not. I'd like to see him come off the bench if possible. So if Liverpool, for argument's sake, are what, I don't know, let's say they're 2-0 behind at half time. Yes, Isak needs to come on, goes without saying. If we are, let's say, 2-1 up, with, I don't know, 30 minutes to go, for example, does Isak need to come on because we're chasing a goal? I'd probably say not. But then again, the other consideration is Federico Chiesa. Now, this is the, I personally think Arna would have liked Chiesa in the Champions League squad, and this is a bit of a pain in the arse for him because now he hasn't got Chiesa for the European ties. He's basically got to rely on what, let's say if it's Isak, Ekitike and Salah, for example, he's got Gakas and Rio Ingamoa to rely on, and maybe Florian Wirtz, and I think Jaden Dan's. I think he would have liked the option of Chiesa. So if you reverse it, obviously Isaac's now presumably going to be on the bench. But long story short, I wouldn't bring him on um, if it's necessary. I'd have him on the bench. And look, if Liverpool 3-0 up with 10 minutes to spare, bring him on. Fine, fair enough. Let's see if we can get a goal. But I wouldn't be rushing him back. The one that I would like him back for is Everton. I think then, personally, for me, I know this sounds really odd, I would probably throw in Isaac for a second full appearance against Southampton, because you think to yourself, well, surely he should be netting a couple against Southampton. I wouldn't even have him on the plane for Galatasaray personally. Crystal Palace, I'd have him play, so that's your first 3 games. Galatasaray, I'd just say, right, you've done 3 on the bench, you're staying at home. And then I'd have him play against Chelsea, but that's just me. So basically, the next 5 or 6 games, I'd have him play 3 or 4, something along those lines. What else was I going to talk about? Yes. So, this next couple of weeks now that we have made this start, let me just have a look. Winning when you're not playing your best is a sign of champion Spurs rival fan. I obviously hate to see. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. One thing I was going to talk about very briefly. Now, given the start Liverpool have made, I wouldn't say this September is crucial, but Liverpool actually do have a chance of getting something very, very good out of September now, because last night I was looking at the fixtures for the rest of the teams, and it's come to my attention that the Arsenal in particular are playing Manchester City at home and Newcastle away from home. Those are Arsenal's next 2 fixtures. In those times, and don't get me wrong, these are very, very difficult fixtures, especially for Liverpool historically. We've got Everton, the Merseyside derby, which is just, look, it's just a horrendous game, isn't it? I mean, you know what Everton are going to do. I mean, no disrespect to Everton, but at the end of the day, obviously they're all getting giddy about the fact they've got Jack Grealish, and we're going to come and have a go at them, and they never do. They never do. It will be Everton will play the way that they always play at Anfield. It's simple as that. That's no disrespect to them, but that's what they're going to do. Crystal Palace away from home is very difficult, and we've always struggled with that match. But I back the lads to find a way through just about. The point is, Arsenal have got horrendous league fixtures now before the next international break. I mean, Chelsea's on horrendous, but I think they've got something like Brighton at home. I don't think that's a given, considering what they did at Brentford. Who else we talk? I mean, Spurs. No offense to Tottenham, because that is my old man's team. So sorry, Dad, for saying this. I don't consider Tottenham a rival, to be honest, at all. I think it's Chelsea at a push, Man City and Arsenal. Now, the thing is with Man City, if they get walloped like they did last season against the Arsenal, you would imagine the next game that there's going to be a lot of a circus around it. So I think from Man City's point of view, they need to win or draw that match. If Arsenal lose the next 2 matches and we were to win the next 2 matches, the point I'm making is, obviously we've got a 3-point lead. If things go the way one would expect them to, potentially there's a chance of Liverpool having a 6 to 7 point lead by the time that we go and play. That we go for the next international break. Bearing in mind as well that we also play Chelsea. We're one of their next 3 fixtures. So I mean, the damage. Who knows what damage the Brentford thing caused to Chelsea the other night? If we can go and roll them over as well, so I'd say, do I think Liverpool win all the next 3 league matches? I'd say it's probably very unlikely. I expect them to drop points somewhere here and there. But look, if someone offered me a win against Chelsea, a win against the Ev, and a point against Crystal Palace, or some variation of that, that is absolutely fine with me. But yeah, it is quite tantalising, but I wouldn't say if Liverpool get like a 4 or 5, 6 point lead or whatever, the league's over because we'll do again last season. It's like, no, it's going to be a lot more difficult. But Liverpool have got a chance with the start that they've made now to not pull away, but make themselves very, very difficult to stop. So yeah, I always want Liverpool to win the league. If you give me Champions League or League, I know a lot of the young people disagree with this. I'm taking Premier League every single year. I would be more than happy for Liverpool just to win the Premier League until the day that I die. as opposed to any other trophy. So personally, looking at that fixture list, I mean the Southampton match. I mean, you could, with the greatest respect to Southampton, I don't mean this dismissively towards them. For example, against Southampton, you could have Mamadashvili, Connor Bradley, let's say Andy Robbo, Leone, Joe Gomez, Curtis Jones for his back fit, Endo, Trainioni, Federico Chiesa, Rio Ingamola, and then maybe you could play a Jaden Dans. I mean, to be honest, we probably beat Southampton a couple of years ago with a team that was actually worse than that, given those horrendous injuries that we had after the League Cup final. So I wouldn't worry about that one too much. I mean, as I say, Atletico Madrid at home and Galatasaray away doesn't strike me with fear, and that's not me being arrogant. So I don't think you need to go hell for leather in those matches. But the league matches, if you can, if Liverpool, put it this way, if Liverpool could come out of this with 6 to 7 wins, I think there's a very good chance, given the fixtures, that we've got a 4 to 5 point lead, maybe even a lead a bit healthier than that. So personally, for me, I would be prioritising all those 3 league matches, but that's just me. I don't know what everyone else thinks. Obviously, let me know in the comments, and if you guys who watch this afterwards, just let me know what would you do with the team selection. Sensible as a lead over Man City. Obviously, we talked about Madrid and Everton, so those are our next 2 games. Just to say very quickly, before I start wrapping this up, the Everton match, I will definitely promise be doing a live reaction at around 5:30 on the Saturday night. I will not be doing it directly afterwards because that's when I have my son and my missus is at work, basically. So that is not going to happen. It will be around 5:30, 6 o'clock, but I will let you guys know what happens with that. So just bear with us on that. So probably around 6 o'clock, I would imagine. The Atletico Madrid match this week. Crikey, that's this week, isn't it? Bloody hell, I keep forgetting that. The Atletico Madrid match is fine. I will be doing a live stream probably about 10:30, I would imagine. It might even be straight after the game, but let me just get rid of the vaunted family members and put them in beds, and then yes. God, I really wish I had a studio, I tell you. This would be way easier, to be honest. But that should be about 20 minutes after the match. So those 2 will last. Just want to, as well, before I head off again, for all the love this weekend. If you don't know, I live streamed my first ever sort of music event called Hard Light, which I know a lot of you watched and commented on, so much love and thank you to all of you for that. Just to say that I'm going to be doing Hard Light number 2 again with a short dark stranger, otherwise known as my friend Cabaret Chris. Thanks to Deerface, Silk Circus and Transients, who were great on the live. I don't know who the artists are going to be, but the next one is going to be on the 12th of September, so that's Friday the 12th of September between 8 and 11. I would imagine we need to confirm venues, and a short dark stranger needs to confirm venues and all that good stuff. So yeah, leave that with us, and yes, I will be covering that again. Had a really good time doing that. Doberwoman, one of my friends, as my good grief, I've made a right mess of this bedroom today, haven't I? Let me just move that stormtrooper. If you're wondering what's going on, folks, in the podcast, by the way, I'm sat next to my Star Wars things I've had to move because of the light, and a stormtrooper has just fallen on me. Yeah, that's just the crazy life I lead. So yes, one of my friends, Doberwoman, is definitely confirmed. Shout out to Doberwoman. You can follow her on Instagram and Facebook as well. Very excellent artist, if I do say so myself. So she'll be there. Short Dark Strange will be there, and yeah, we'll see you in about just under 11 weeks for that if you want to watch it again. Just to say tonight, folks, as well, the next time I'm going to be on, I'm going to be doing a live stream for Monday Night Raw. So subscribers will know, obviously, I do this every single episode that I do. I don't just cover Liverpool, so I do Liverpool, football, Pride, horror, comic cons, toy hunts, and pro wrestling. So I'll be doing a live stream of Monday Night Raw. Well, the early hours of this morning UK time, but if you watch in America, it'll be like your normal time basically. It'll be about 3:30 in the morning UK time, just after Monday Night Raw ends. So if you want to join us for that, you can do. Um, and just in terms of stuff coming up this week, he says looking at his schedules. Yeah, here we go. Right, so for the next week, football and wrestling wise and whatever else, I'm hoping to drop a video about Weapons, as in the film Weapons, because if you've not seen it at the cinema, I don't know if it's still out, but please go and see it. It was sensational. It's the best film that I've seen in the cinema for a very, very long time. So yeah, I'm hoping to have like a video about Weapons. I know there's already been like reviews and stuff, but because I didn't get to see it, I haven't done a review. So I'll drop a review on that on my Geek Boy a Movie Story, which is another podcast that I do. I do a podcast on wrestling, movies, and Liverpool FC. The Liverpool one's called Geek Boy a Liverpool Story, which this one will be on basically. Why on earth was I telling you that for? Oh yeah, so so for the rest of the week, like I said, a review of Weapons. Like I said, shout out to the directors and everything. Was sick. It was awesome. The rest of the week, I'll be, like I said, I'll be back on for Monday Night Raw tonight at about 3:30 in the morning. Then I will be doing a preview of WrestlePalooza, the WWE pay-per-view, on ESPN, which is going to be sort of Wednesday afternoonish, I believe, hopefully. And then I'll be doing a live reaction to Liverpool versus Atletico Madrid, which will be around 10:30 on Wednesday. Then I'll be back up Thursday morning to do a live reaction to AEW Dynamite, which will be 9 o'clock in the morning, sort of UK time. And then after that, the next time I will be on will be for WrestlePalooza. So there won't be a SmackDown reaction show this week. I'll talk about anything that happens in SmackDown on like little videos on Instagram or YouTube Shorts or whatever. But I'll be doing because the SmackDown show I usually do at 11 o'clock on the Saturday night. But obviously I can't do that this time because WrestlePalooza will be starting like an hour after that, and I don't want to be doing a live during WrestlePalooza talking about something that had happened the previous night, basically. So I'll be doing a live reaction for that. It looks like I will also be watching AEW All Out as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to go live for that necessarily because I believe it starts maybe 6 o'clock UK time, 7 o'clock, something on them lines. I think there's maybe an hour, 2 hours difference between WrestlePalooza and AEW. If by the way, all of this, if you're just here for Liverpool, just ignore this basically. Yeah, I think there's like a couple of hours difference, so I might do a live reaction to that as well, but just leave it with us. If I've got enough time between both, I'll see what I can do. But yes, it looks like I'll be watching AEW All That as well. If I don't do that, then I'll just do a vlog. And even before that as well, on the Saturday, like I said, I'll be doing a live reaction to Liverpool versus Everton in the horrendous Merseyside derby, which gives me heart palpitations every year, and it has done for 35 years, so I'm not looking forward to that at all. And I also have to watch it with my 11-year-old son, which I'm not especially looking forward to that, to be honest. But yeah, I'll be doing a live reaction to the Merseyside derby probably around, as I say, 6 o'clock on Saturday night, give or take. But yeah, like I said, thanks everyone for watching. So yeah, what do we think? Are we happy with Liverpool? Are we not happy with Liverpool? What needs to improve? What would your team be for Wednesday? I'll just throw it out there, my team that I've got, just to end it all. So my team and if you want to follow my team, I always do it on Threads, a little bit on Blue Sky, so I always put like my team predictions. So I'm going to do that tonight on Threads if you want to follow us. So for Atletico Madrid, I'm going to go with Alisson Becker, Andrew Robin, Virgil van Dijk, Ibu Konate. I'm going to go with Connor Bradley to play right fullback. I would have a bit of rotation in midfield. I would personally leave Alexis out if he's got any sort of muscle injury. I mean, obviously, we need the press conference tomorrow to confirm. I'll be dropping stuff from the press conference as well tomorrow. Well, not from the press conference. Bloody hell, that would be awesome if I could go to Liverpool press conference. But I'll be covering it as well. So that'll be tomorrow. I think the pressers. I'm not sure what time it is. In fact, let me see if I can find out when the press conference is scheduled for while I'm here. But yeah, I would go with. Let's have a look. Also, press conference. While I'm trying to find that out, I wouldn't have Alexis involved personally for me. I'd play Ryan definitely. I'm not sure, to be honest, if I would play Verts. That I might maybe leave him on the bench, possibly. But obviously Jones is injured as well. So, I mean, midfield options-wise, randomly enough, we haven't actually got that many for this one, especially if you're taking Jones and McAllister out. So, yeah, if you're taking McAllister out, it would have to be Ryan Gravenberch, Dominic Szoboszlai. I mean, you can't really have Trey Neone in that sort of match because he's just not got enough experience. I mean, I'd be quite tempted with Wataru Endo because I know what Atletico Madrid like and I know what they're going to come and do. But obviously, Slot is not going to play Endo from the start. So, yeah, I suppose it would have to be Gravenberch, Szoboszlai and Florian, to be fair. I mean, Florian has played up against teams like this before. I mean, he knows how to protect himself and stuff, so he'll be absolutely fine. Yeah, and then up front, he won't want to rest, so let's just say Mo Salah, because you can't rest Salah. Like I said, I wouldn't play Isaac unless it's absolutely necessary, and I'd go with Gakpo, probably Ekatike, and then put one of those through the middle. But yeah, that would be roughly my team, basically. Still can't find when the here we go. Right, so the press conference for Liverpool versus Atletico Madrid is 3:30 tomorrow afternoon. So basically, we'll know what the team is from there. So, like I said, I will try and bring you some reactions to that if I can. Swig of water, and yeah, cool. Thank you everyone for watching as per usual. It's been cool interacting with you guys. Like I said, I'll be back on what time are we on now? In literally about 10 hours time for Monday Night Raw. And looking forward to that. And yeah. And obviously I'll also be on for WrestlePalooza. I should just finish off as well. So that'll be whatever time it is, about 3:30 in the morning, early hours of Sunday morning. So yeah, but yeah, in terms of next time for anything, I'll see you guys about 3:30 this morning, and for Liverpool, I will see you guys after the Atletico Madrid game. And like I said, I'll drop a couple of videos about Arne Slot's press conference as well. So yeah, cool, nice one. Thanks everyone for watching. Yeah, love all the comments. Thanks everyone for supporting, and I'll see you for Madrid on Wednesday. Cheers. See you later. Bye bye.